RSD creates flashes of brilliance in Honours electronic engineering students. 2012 at the University of Adelaide. Honours students have to do a major project and presentation of it publicly towards the end of their honours year. It's a major task where they've been working with honours coordinators on these major electrical projects. So at the beginning of 2012, we primed honours students with a stimulus, which was this tree that had been actually struck by lightning, and this blue car was passing very close by when it was hit and parked quite close. So the tree was actually struck by lightning right up near the top and split a major branch down the middle. Curiously, just after the lightning had struck, within about 30 seconds, a magpie perched high up in this tree and stayed there for about 10 minutes. The actual tree itself had a charge channel that surged to the ground. And you could see next to this channel, which blew bark about 30 metres, next to this tree is Dom, who was in that blue car that was almost struck by the lightning. So Dom, when we interviewed him afterwards in the cafe we were sitting in, said, "Right now I'm still overwhelmed. A tingling sensation throughout my whole body." So he's still feeling electricity. It's very interesting that he actually parked his car very close to the tree, not completely unlike the magpie. So we posed to the honours students the adage, lightning never strikes twice in the same place, at least in the same storm. And we asked them to do this, to say, based on their 3 years of previous electrical and electronic engineering study, what were reasons why this adage may be true? And also, reasons why this adage may be wrong. And they had 2 minutes in groups of 2 or 3 to actually come up with a list as long as possible. So, after 2 minutes of quite riotous talking, we got a group to call out, and the first group actually had 4 reasons why the adage may be true, and only 1 why it may be wrong, and they called them out. Then other groups saw things quite differently and had a lot more reasons why the adage may be wrong. They were arguing about excess in charge of the tree and the air around might make it less likely that the tree would be struck again. Other people argued that the actual change in ionisation of the air channel would make it more likely. So there's a lot of debate. But the main thing we wanted to do here was to actually say, what skills did you use to do that? So we posed that to the audience, and they started throwing out, well, we wrote down 2 lists. Some people had iPhones or iPads and used Google to source information. People indicated their prior knowledge was very important. They were asking questions of each other. They had to think of which list was more plausible. They also had to think on the process, reflect on the process to do this analysis. They talked to each other and communicated to the big group. They had to decide on an answer. Now, what I didn't tell them was that we'd organised these according to the 6 facets of the Research Skill Development Framework. So each of these things matched quite nicely with one of the facets of the RSD. So they could see that these facets were not just artificial things, they were relating to things they would do in a normal sense of evaluating things in electronic engineering. Also the prior knowledge, not a skill in itself, but absolutely vital to be able to engage in this task. So we showed them their first assessment rubric that they're going to be having in honours. This is something they're going to be seeing early, mid and late in their honours for, in this case, a proposal seminar. They'll have a similar thing for their their product as well. And these 6 facets are the facets that frame all the marking rubrics. So they're visiting the same facets of embarking, of finding and generating, of evaluating, reflecting, managing, synthesizing and analysing and communicating. All these things are going to have different forms in the different contexts, but they'll be visiting those same research skills throughout the year. So electronic engineering students were introduced to the research skill development framework, which frames a lot of the conceptualizations of their course through the year as they apply research skills to their projects and to take them to extra degrees of rigour and sophistication. And this introduction allows them to see that they already have these skills, they use these skills, and they're very natural part of their university studies and more broad.